Well, we've been in business for over 35 years, and one thing that our company does, Spotlight, is that we bring our equipment out on site to prepare all the food fresh on location. That's what really separates us from our competitors. When you go to a restaurant and order food, you want it right there, you want it prepared right then. And that's what we do, regardless if it's for a wedding for 50 people or for several hundred, all the food would be cooked fresh on location.
The quality of the food was outstanding. I mean, when we did our initial tasting, we were blown away with how great, the options were that they prepared for us. And then it translated extremely well to the day of our wedding when we got exactly what we expected.
And that's what our main concern was too. Like, we knew we had a budget to work with, but also we wanted really good food. We didn't want, people to walk away from our wedding saying ill.
Everybody was just amazed. To this day, people
still talk about the food.
Yeah.
Most weddings come in and want pretty much the same setup. They would like a dinner, they'd like an appetizer, they'd like china, linens, stainless steel flatware, a bar. So we decided to just put that all in one set price to make it easier for brides and grooms, and instead of nickel and diming all these different charges. So it just makes it simpler for them and actually easier for us too, to give the client exactly what they're wanting. But we do customize things, so if someone wants to make changes, it's not an issue to do.
Basically, the kids nowadays, they watch all those wedding shows and stuff, so she knew exactly what she wanted. She knew the colors, she knew the food and everything else. So basically, I just started looking on the internet, looking at the websites. She gave me the Knot and the various others, and we looked for referrals, and I found a few, and Ronnie was one of them that was on our initial list because of the reviews he had had. But he was actually kind of higher priced, we thought. So we actually did several interviews with some other caterers, and by the time we got everything in that my daughter wanted, it ended up that Ronnie's price was very competitive, and based on the reviews, we decided to, we did a few tastings, and Ronnie's was one of them, and we really liked Ronnie, and we really liked the food. It was exceptionally good.
And I know that with wedding planning, budget is huge, and that's can be a large chunk of your budget, and they were very affordable. You got a lot in your package, especially with the combination of food and alcohol, and I believe you could add on by the hour more liquor service, which was nice. I think we did have to do that actually for the cocktail hour or something, but again, I don't even really remember because it was just very simple, very easy. So
we try to offer a great value in our service, in our package, in our food, what we do. And I think that's what a lot of brides and grooms find very comforting in our service, is providing that. And then to follow through and to give them exactly what we have spoken about through the whole process.
The great thing about working with Spotlight Catering was we came in with an initial idea, and they took that idea and really listened to what was important to us, and then were able to describe additional options that would make sense for not only our budget, but also for our taste.
Well, our packages start at $39.50 per person, but we can also work with, we have clients that come in and do not want the bar, or a little bit more cost conscious and may want just beer and wine instead of full liquor. So there are discounted costs for that. If they take away the champagne toast, they can save a little money. So I'm here to work with them.
The package price wasn't a nickel and dime kind of package price. It really worked with our budget.
I think he actually saved his money because he prevented us from having to go out to get a wedding planner to come and set up the tables. He offered, no, not a problem, we'll set up the tables for you. You don't have to worry about a thing. Just tell us how you want it done and we'll have it done. And when we walked in, everything was completely done. So he didn't just provide catering, he provided a number of different services.
Yeah, so that's why he definitely went above and beyond.
I think what really sealed the deal is finding the combination of that 4-hour bar with the price. I didn't know if 4-hour bar was the norm or not the norm or standard, but when you saw what you had offered for food and then a 4-hour bar and the price point, I mean, it was kind of a slam dunk.
One of the things that back when we did the package started, we were one of the few caterers in the area that had their own liquor license. So we took that used it as an advantage and put it into the package and gave a very, at a very reasonable cost to be provided, for weddings, with the entire liquor bar. Most receptions would last 4 hours. We are able to extend that if a bride and groom wishes to do so.
And that was one of the things that was on my daughter's list, is what she wanted.
Really on our list too.
Yeah, it was on our list too. That was a must-have. So when and that was one of the areas where certainly we got nickeled and dimed in the other places that we went. It'd be like, yes, we can do a package, but we're going to charge you this, and then we were like, well, can we have some vodka, or can we have this vodka, or can we have slightly upper scale brands? And they'd be well, then it's going to cost this much more.
And then when we got to Ronnie, we didn't have any issues like that. He was so easy to work with, and whatever made our guests happy. I wasn't worried at all that we'd run out or anything like that. He was great.
You pick up on little things that are important to them. Naturally, the whole day is, but what they're looking for, and I just try to do the little special thing and make note of that. So it might be, my grandmother is 95 years old, and is it possible, can we serve her at her table so she doesn't have to go through the buffet kind of thing? Absolutely. We're here to take care of things like that.
It's from the very beginning. Every time we talked to Ronnie and said, can you meet us to do this? Not a problem. He met with us 2 weeks before and a week before, just to confirm everything was done. And then her grandmother had gotten sick during the wedding, so during the ceremony, so they had taken her back to the hotel. So I asked Ronnie, hey, can you just put a little box together with food? Well, he put a little bit of everything because he didn't know what she wanted. And then before anybody left, he made sure. And they stayed, not until everybody was done eating. They stayed until they were the last people to leave.
They did everything, and that's what was the very best thing, is they were a one-stop shop, one-stop pack. The package was all-inclusive. They did everything. They set the tables. They came up with the recommendations. They got the DJ. They
not only that, but I think
the rooms.
When we got there, I didn't have to do anything, which that to me was the most important part, because it went so fast, and I really just wanted to enjoy the day and be able to look at my daughter and her husband, and I really truly didn't do anything, and I didn't worry about anything.
And to hear them say afterwards, you sometimes even exceeded that. And that's what we're in this business for. If you don't enjoy hearing that from your clients, then you're in the wrong business. So we take it to heart and do our best every time that we do a function.